TP takes.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. TP takes. We're here. It's our first ever podcast. I'm P, and that's T. My name is actually Matt Crispe. You can take the P wherever you want it. My friend, introduce yourself to the fans.
I'm Tommy Heim, also known as T, I guess.
Yeah, I get the P. That's an interesting nickname, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like Edwin, great guy. He takes the last syllable of what people called you, and that's what your nickname is. P.
Yeah.
So all seem to be Stin. I would be I'm. Tommy would be me. You get the point.
Yeah.
That was good.
All right, guys, enjoy.
What's up, guys? Welcome to our first podcast here. This podcast here is called TP Takes. I am P. He is T. Here we are. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
All right. So, Tommy, we know each other from college, and we're in the fraternity.
Yes, sir.
We decided that me and Tommy have a very, we like to talk about sports. So we figured, why not? We're both out of college now. We're both old men doing nothing. We figured this would be a good idea to dabble with in the quarantine now over the Zoom and see how we like it, TP. Listen, it just works out for our names. My name is actually Matt Crispe. The P, it just figure out where it comes from. And Tommy, introduce yourself.
All right. So I'm Tommy Heim. Me and P met when we were up at school. I rushed the same fraternity he was already in, and we became good friends. We both love sports and definitely ready to get this thing popping.
Yeah. And shout out to Sean Torpey, by the way. He ended up making this intro music that you probably heard. We haven't heard it yet, so I'm just
we still haven't heard it.
I'm just assuming it's going to be nice. Intro music you heard came from Sean Torpey. God damn it.
Sean Torpey.
The intro music you heard came from Sean Torpey. We'll put his stuff in the bio if you want to hit him up for any whatever.
For any songs, anything you want to listen to.
Yeah. Okay. So,
all right.
Well, we had a list of stuff we wanted to talk about, but something rather big happened today that could affect most sports other than its own. MLB and the Miami Marlins, man. Unbelievable.
Dude, man, 14 guys. 14 guys.
12 players and like 2 coaches or something
I think it was 11 players and 3 coaches.
Yeah. And that's just a big issue. I mean, it's not as much as an issue for the NBA and the NHL.
Yeah, because they're already in the bubble.
They got the bubbles going, but Goodell's got to be sitting back hard and waiting for Rob Manfred to make a move.
Yeah, he probably got on a call and was like, all right, man, you need to get this together ASAP. Can't be having all this nonsense.
No, because if Manfred shuts it down, well, first of all, the Phillies players are getting tested now because the Marlins just played a series in Philadelphia, and they're now quarantined in Philadelphia, not Miami. So the Phillies players are now getting tested. If a good amount of those players come back positive, I don't see how they can't cancel it. You know what I mean?
The big question is, what do you think that number is?
I think it's anything over 14.
You think if it's over 14?
Clearly, the Marlins number 14, like the teens area, was like a big red flag for them. So clearly, if the Marlins had 14, if the Phillies have like 15, 16, it's going to be a tough one to let that slide.
What if they're at like 8 or 9?
It's hard to say because then they clearly have no idea like how they're going to and I don't think any sport has any idea how they're going to contain like the corona. They have to kind of accommodate for some. So 8 or 9, yeah, maybe. But if it's a crazy number, I wouldn't be shocked if baseball is done by the end of the week. Maybe, yeah, and then football.
Yeah, so back to baseball. I mean, all of that happened. Other than that, I think it was a pretty good weekend of baseball, though.
Great
way to come back.
I don't think of any better moment than watching Dr. Fauci throw the first pitch. It was unbelievable. Listen, it honestly makes me feel a little bit better because that guy is the head, the front. He's a stallion leading us against Corona in our country. If he was good at sports, I would think he sucks a little bit at science. Hey, listen.
Yeah, I mean, that throw was 50 Cent-esque, to say the least.
Oh, listen, that was abominable. But it was great. It was a great moment. Just really show, like, wow, like, sports are back. Like, MLB's back. Bad first pitches is back. It was perfect.
Oh, yes. Bad first pitches is back.
He did that on purpose, that little bastard. That smart little fucker. He probably spiked that thing on purpose. He was trying to throw Tim Wakefield knuckleball.
The Tim Wakefield knuckleball. Oh, man. All right.
Unbelievable.
So, in baseball, my favorite team is the Mets, and it's been a rough weekend for them.
Mr. Diaz back at it.
Mr. Diaz had that real bad blown save, and then yesterday just getting mollywopped,
Pummeled.
destroyed.
Pummeled.
The only good thing out of this weekend, I think, for the Mets is there's two. Cespedes hit a home run, so that helps us, and DeGrom, man,
Yeah.
short-haired DeGrom is just.
Yeah, the Mets got to take advantage of when, like, Cespedes is not chasing his chickens and his boars in his backyard. And I think the first 3 weeks, well, if the season still goes on, the first 3 weeks of the season, I think he's going to stay healthy and rate a couple. And then DeGrom is just – that man's unbelievable.
I mean, easily the best pitcher in the league right now.
He was throwing changeups that were looking like wiffle ball sliders. It was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've never seen someone throw a 93-mile-an-hour changeup.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's absurd.
3-time Cy Young Award winner. Deserves it already.
Well, he's got 2 so far.
3 in a row. Let's go.
You think he's getting that 3rd?
Well, if there's a season, you might. He's definitely by far the best pitcher in the MLB, I think.
Yeah, but they got a rough squad.
Yeah, well, they had a rough squad when he wanted the last 2.
Yeah, that's true. He's won 21 games in the last 2 years combined.
Yeah, so there's no speaking that his talent is amazing. It's just at least the Mets managed to actually keep him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That brings us to our next topic, I guess. The NFL. So my NFL team, my favorite NFL team, is the Jets, and it's been quite a week for them too.
Listen, both your teams are just up there in the news lately. I mean, listen, the Jets are the forefront of the NFL news this year. I mean, as of right now, not the whole year, but.
Yeah, I mean, they really took all the spotlight away from Mahomes making $500 million.
Yeah, listen, Cam Newton got his Patriots deal.
Yep.
Mahomes made $500 million, and all of a sudden Jamal Adams burning down the city.
Jamal Adams decided to go scorched earth, and he went for it, man. Dude, the beef.
The beef between Jamal Adams leaving, he just didn't leave. He left with some, like, force and some. Listen, Le'Veon Bell did not take too kind to it. Those two went at it on Twitter a little bit.
Yeah, so I guess Jamal Adams is the guy that recruited Le'Veon to come to the Jets. He got him to sign there instead of signing for Baltimore, which offered him even more money.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, within a year, he was asking to get traded. He was asking to get out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came out today that he tried to get traded to the Cowboys during last season.
Wow.
Literally less than a season after, he just recruited Le'Veon to come. He's like, we're gonna right the ship. We're gonna get him to win.
He really wanted to be a Cowboy.
Oh yeah, he wanted to go back to Dallas.
I know he's a good player and all, but he's not like the Cowboys need a turnover magnet, and he's not that guy. He's an unbelievable run stopper and tackler and enforcer. He's not the turnover guy. The Cowboy needs a guy that's going to get like 4 or 5 picks a season. Like, the Cowboys need that. But,
yeah.
Listen, I'm happy the Cowboys didn't give an arm and a leg for him. Good player, great player. He would have been the face of our defense, but
100%.
Whatever. Happens.
Yeah, I mean, who reminds me of him? Just the other guy's a lot bigger.
Ew.
He plays a lot like the guy that just got drafted, Isaiah Simmons.
He's a hell of a player, Isaiah
That
Simmons.
athletic freak out of Clemson.
He's going to have Clemson every year. They're good for just one freak. Just one freak.
Yeah, next year it's Sunshine.
Yeah, Sunshine, listen. He's got to be a little pissed.
Oh, yeah.
There was all these like Twitter rumors and memes of him and Belichick riding out into the chariot for 20 years, just like a repeat of what they did with Brady. But they got Cam Newton. And I think he's going to give that man a chip on his shoulder. He's an athletic specimen, Cam Newton. I think with a chip on his shoulder, a good coach, he's going to keep his head straight. I think Cam Newton could rival his MVP season this year. I personally think so.
I actually think he'll be better than his MVP season.
Wow. Okay. So that's not scary.
Yeah. I think that team just – the way they're built, man, you add in an athletic freak like that can just sling the rock. He's pissed off. He has a boulder of a chip on his shoulder. You know, people keep doubting him.
Yeah.
Give him the Belichick.
It's amazing how I went from Stidham in the Patriots. Stidham. Okay. Stidham in the Patriots to just being possibly one of the worst teams in that division, and the Bills and maybe the Jets running away with it. Bill's back. Bill Belichick knows what he's doing. And this is an interesting year. This is finally the first year where this argument is going to get put to rest.
Who was more important? Yeah.
Or was it Bill Belichick? I personally think it was Bill Belichick. But
so do I. I mean, you know, and I watch him twice a year. Mm-hmm. Bill, man, he's just so smart.
He's a smart
guy. I don't
guy.
understand it. Some coaches, they can't even make adjustments like at halftime. It's like when you give him that kind of like time. Mm-hmm. He does it in between drives.
Yeah.
He'll make complete adjustments and completely change the way their team's playing.
And the way Bill has been kind of just like foreseeing himself like out to the public. He pulls that move of his dog doing the draft pick. Like you see him all smiling on camera here and there.
Nike the dog.
I don't know. He's a little eerie the way he's acting right now. I feel like he's got something up his sleeve, that guy. I think if the NFL happens, I think the Patriots are going to go right back where they were. No, they're not going to skip a beat. They're going to win 12 games, be the 1 or 2 seed. And it's now the fact that they're going to beat Mr. Half a Billy and that unbelievable offense.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I've noticed about Belichick, he's really changed the way people look at him, like over the course of like a year. He went from the guy that like never talks, you know, never really does anything with the media. He won an Emmy for he won an Emmy for one of the things he did on NFL Network. And then you know, Nike the dog, during the draft, electric. Now he's doing Subway commercials.
Bill Belichick, man. He's riding the Nick Saban wave. He's taking that out of his playbook, hopping on the Aflac commercials.
Dude, then you know the new Bill Belichick.
I like him.
You know,
good guy.
Him with the stud Cam Newton, the star.
What probably happened was like Julian Edelman was probably sitting down eating lunch with him, and he showed him the meme of him walking into the stadium with the Stone Cold shit. And I'm actually pretty funny, and he just kind of ran with it. And now he's just trying to make fun of him. Like, listen, Bill Belichick's going to be playing games. Because Tennessee kind of played games with them in the playoff game.
Yeah.
Kind of, he took Rabel. He took freaking stuff right out of Bill Belichick's playbook, right out of his pocket, and he did it right to him. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, man. Tennessee, they look like they might be able to do the same thing again.
Ryan Tannehill is the ultimate system quarterback.
I actually don't agree with that. I think he's a lot better than people realized in Miami.
Well, we'll see. I always thought he was good. He's a good quarterback, but he fits so well in that Tennessee offense. It's just that he did an unbelievable job throwing 89 yards in 2 playoff games and letting Derrick Henry run. He just did a phenomenal job standing there. Great handoffs.
Yeah, man. Great handoffs. Just looking good out there on the field.
Yeah, freaking his wife's pretty good looking too.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah.
He obviously just really wanted to get out of there because he pulled the ultimate, like, get me the fuck out of here card by saying
100%.
By saying this coach sucks. Like, if you're a player on a team and you say, like, your coach sucks openly in the media, they are literally forced to move you away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He did more than that. Like, he basically said he was worse than a Pop Warner coach. Like,
I mean,
when you say that, like, your football coach doesn't talk to the whole team, like, when you're losing at halftime, I mean, like, when I played Pop Warner football, my coaches would speak to us at halftime.
yeah, of course.
Like,
It's just a trend that's being, like, Le'Veon Bell saying the same thing about him. Like, Adam Gase, man, just you got to figure it out, bro.
yeah, I mean, me and, like, everybody I know that are Jet fans, none of us really wanted him as head coach,
Mhm.
when they signed him. And then last year fell off the rails pretty quick. With Darnold got mono, and then they lost, and then Simeon got his leg snapped,
Mhm.
and then just
And listen, plus side is, like, if, like, Sam Darnold gets mono again, like, it's gonna be like good for you, bro. You don't have COVID. Like, he
yeah,
goes
true.
out, he clubs with, like, 18-year-olds, or not 18-year-olds, obviously, like 21-year-olds, and he's hooking up with girls, doing what any guy being a dude.
Dude being a guy.
He gets mono. Oh wow, that's good. Thank God. Like, we're safe.
Yeah, but the problem is, I actually heard a couple times today that a lot of people think that if he doesn't ball out this year, that they're gonna trade all those extra picks they got from Adams and move on.
Wouldn't be a bad shout. And listen, that kind of, and even that ties into what my favorite team is in the situation. If I'm the Dallas Cowboy fan, as you can see, got my new CeeDee Lamb shirt on.
Yeah, got the flag in the back.
And going off of balling out this season, my man Dak Prescott. I'll go off and firstly say, people that know me, I'm a big Dak Prescott believer. I don't think he necessarily deserved the money he wanted yet. It's like he wanted crazy money. I don't think Jerry Jones was writing a $40 million check for a guy that's won 2 playoff games in the last how many years he's been there. It's just this is his year. He's got a new coach, Mike McCarthy, great with quarterbacks. He lost Jason Garrett. That was literally his crutch and his getaway card, his get out of jail free card, as you could say. That, oh, it's not Dak. Freaking Jason Garrett is a horrible head coach. Now he's got a good head coach, an unbelievable offense. Listen, Dak, you bring the Cowboys to the NFC Championship this year, Jerry Jones will write you a $40 million contract a year.
$40 million a year, yeah.
100%, he will. It's on you. Do the same thing you did last year. If the defense sucks, whatever. Do what you did last year. Produce, win some games, and finally bring, like, the term America's team back to Dallas. Because right now, I don't know. I don't know if that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely more of a believer on Dak than I am. I mean, like, I think he's a good QB. Don't get me wrong. I feel like he's more of like a little bit more prolific version of Alex Smith.
Yeah, that's another thing. Good for that guy. He's
yeah,
back.
Man, he's back.
He absolutely put his knee into a wood chipper, and now he's back.
Well, yeah, it was his shin. He snapped it.
Yeah, his whole leg just shredded. Well, listen, I hope he has a chance to get on the team. I'm pretty sure he's probably still better than.
You think he's better than Haskins?
It's my Ohio State boy. I don't know. I kind of like to ride with him. I don't know.
He showed some promise at the end of last year.
I mean, with Terry McLaurin on the team, he's a hell of a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So, I think you got to ride with Haskins one more year. If he stinks, Alex Smith's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the Washington football team.
The Washington football team.
I think they should ride with Dwayne Haskins for now.
I think so too. I think at the very least, just to give Alex Smith some more time to get back.
Right.
Let
of
him,
course.
get him like actually working football
Mm-hmm.
instead of just trying to be able to walk and do everything like he used to.
Yeah. Well, and this is all hypotheticals at this point.
I mean, this is if the season happens, which I think it will at least. I think they'll at least start.
So, do you think there's like any way? I was just thinking this before we came on, because if the MLB end up canceling their season, and clearly the bubble is like the way to go with this, like the bubble dome, the biodome, the biohazard dome is the way to go with these sports. Do you think Roger Goodell can somehow figure out how to incorporate that in the NFL, and how would he even do that? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't think they can do it for the NFL.
It'd be extremely difficult.
The big problem is just they have so many people.
Yeah.
and the games are all on the games are all only like 2 days a week. So you would need to find a place that had what, probably at least 10 football fields all ready to go, and that
Mhm.
teams could practice on all week and all of that. And on top of that, you'd be asking players to quarantine themselves from their family for what, like 5 months probably.
What? September to February or maybe
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would really have to be like August until February.
August to February, yeah, training camp.
Yeah.
See stuff like that working if they kind of went into like a Disney-esque thing and they had just fields everywhere.
But
Like I could see it.
the problem is though, like, even if they have fields everywhere, you still have to get the players to agree to do it.
True, and that's the hardest part. Obviously, big names would sit out for obvious reasons, just to be with
Yes.
their family or like health concerns and stuff, and that would be a
Yeah.
big oh no. I don't know. We're in a weird spot. It
You know,
looks good.
I think it's a lot different than basketball is and hockey, because like they're just going and finishing up the playoffs. Like,
Yeah,
this is an
they
entire
play.
season.
Yeah, it's a whole.
And on
Yeah.
top of that, you'd need to find a place to house, like, what is it? It's probably like 100 people per team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's gonna be tough. It looked really promising for a little bit for
yeah.
before it's coming back. MLB had a great showing, and then wake up and the Miami Marlins said, no, no, no.
No, I mean, I trust that at the very least football will be able to figure something out.
Goodell's a genius with that. I mean, he may be a prick, but he's a genius. So
They have such a good, like, the NFL organization as a whole is just so good that, like, they'll figure it out.
yeah, they're gonna. He's willing to fight out Corona any way
Oh,
that he
yes.
possibly can. A lot of other people that sit around and party now, and it's kind of making this world a little bit worse. Is college kids.
Oh, yeah.
College, that's another big thing.
Yeah. Thankfully, we're both done. Whew.
Yeah, we're out of college. You don't got to worry about. Unfortunately, our school has resorted to being online, kind of like hybrid classes per se. But a lot of kids are mad about it. It's all over the country. This is a bad area, bad times, and that causes an issue for college sports.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not like the NFL. It's not just football, football, football. This is football, about 15 other sports, and kids trying to get a degree in the same place.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's not like the NFL where it's just football, football, football. It's like kids' lives, like regular kids' lives that parents are staying there to get an education in the same thing. Now, they're definitely not, I don't think they're definitely playing in the fall at all. Like I count it out 100%. I don't know what you think, but I don't think there's any possible way they figure it out.
I don't think they should figure it out, to be quite honest with you.
I don't even think they should try.
Neither do I. I think they should just cancel it. And the reason for that is it's not even just like the health concerns of like the players. They talk so much about how it's student athletes.
Yeah.
So if students aren't allowed on campus in the fall, how are you about to force the athletes to stay on campus and play?
And that will cause some students to use their voices and like go against the NCAA in some way, saying, hey, we're not being used for your toys to make you money, and that's just going to bring that whole conversation up again. It's a whole mess. I think they should not even try. Just let it be. Maybe spring, maybe like kind of coincide and coexist with college basketball. I don't know. That would be interesting. It'd be fun for the viewers, fun for me and you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, again, you go into the thing. My guy at Ohio State, the blonde-headed Jesus at Clemson, they're not playing in the spring. Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence would not play in the spring right before the NFL Combine and draft. No way.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, when would they end up having the Combine and the draft?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Would they push that back?
We don't even know how long this thing is going to go for. We still got flu season coming up again in the spring or the fall.
The fall.
Yeah. Sorry. Right. So it's just college football is in a bad place. Maybe they can get away with some bubble action or some sort of action with college basketball. They'll figure that out. They can't lose that 2 years in a row. But,
Yeah, I mean, the big thing I think is just going to be when schools actually open up,
right.
because if the schools aren't, open to having students there, I don't see how they can get, athletes to come and, practice, play,
Mm,
stay there, do all that when,
yeah.
Students aren't even allowed on campus.
I would say it would be pretty electric if they somehow figured out to do like college basketball Sunday through Thursday and college football like Fridays and Saturdays, like Friday nights and all day Saturday. That would be like throughout the whole entire spring. That would be insane.
Oh, yeah. I
Manage
mean,
like the TV deals and stuff. It would be
yeah.
great.
Or if they could figure out a way to just get like 70 college football teams and like 70 or 80 college basketball teams and just go do like a crazy tournament.
Imagine they did that in the winter, like just like a all out, just like March Madness style football thing, like lose and go home, like lose and you're done.
Yep. March
Oh.
Madness style football and basketball at the same time. What?
That'd be like what every fan wants of like an 8 playoff team in the NCAA, like on crack.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't afford to have that many teams play and that many games, well,
Yeah.
definitely
Just,
make at least a little money.
or even take like your preseason, like, I mean, people might get mad, like your preseason top 25,
Yeah.
last year's top 25, like, yeah, it would work. There's a
Yeah.
lot of ways you can do it, but fall is, I don't think they should even attempt. Let's just leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that really scares me about college football is the SEC. Did you hear what they came out and said?
No, what they say.
So they already canceled all fall sports except for football.
Oh God, here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole uproar.
Yeah.
Student uprising against the NCAA. Yeah, whatever. They're digging their own grave at this point if they try and play and they do that.
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
if every conference does that and they cancel everything but football.
I mean, that goes against NCAA rules too.
Listen,
Well, if they don't have any other sports at all this year.
NCAA may be more corrupt than the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, in class I've heard a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
A lot of these organizations are just, during this whole Corona thing, are like, their flaws are starting to come out to the light. You know what I mean? You're seeing everything wrong with these organizations. But I would say, as much as I am a hater and a doubter and a non-supporter of the NBA, I hate basketball. The NBA is – they got it. They're killing it.
Yeah, dude.
They're absolutely killing it.
Their bubble looks pretty good so far, at least.
Bubble's killing it. The court looks amazing with the screens.
Well, they have one issue, though.
Oh, no.
Lou Williams.
Must be some good wings at that strip club, huh?
Yeah, him and Jack Harlow just booing.
Jack Harlow, what's popping, maybe. That guy's an idiot. I think Jack Harlow should be, like, attacked more than Lou. Like, what kind of idiot do you got to be to, one, be out of – both of them were in the strip club during a pandemic. 2, be with an NBA player and think it's okay to selfie that NBA player outside of his bubble. Like, what kind of idiot do you got to be?
I think that makes Lou Williams look even worse because, we've taken pictures with friends. Like, that they're going to post it.
Exactly.
Like,
You know what I mean?
You're telling me you wouldn't tell him not to post it?
And he might have.
I doubt it, man, because he even tagged him too.
I did. The place he was at, I forgot the name, but I think he was actually telling the truth. He was getting there for food. Because apparently some of these strip clubs in Atlanta and down south have unbelievable food. Like, I'm shocked because my first reaction to this was like, wow, this guy's an idiot and he's like saying to get food. But like, I didn't realize that some strip club food is like highly praised. And the strip club he's at has a wing with his name in it. I think he was just there. He was going, what? He left the bubble to go to a funeral, correct?
Yeah, he went to a funeral.
The man is obviously upset about something. He needed his wings. Those are obviously his favorite wings. I don't think the guy did anything wrong. Granted, he put the NBA in jeopardy by going to a strip club.
Yeah, I mean, he put the entire league in jeopardy.
He's in good heart. Listen, he got his 10 days. He'll probably test negative or positive, whatever. He has his 10 mandatory days. He'll be all right.
You know what happens with those 10 mandatory days, though, right?
Nothing.
He misses a couple of the first – he misses at least one of the games, like the real games that start back.
One of the 8 Zion games?
All right, so –
it's literally the only reason why they're doing it, I think.
What? So that way Zion has a chance to make the playoffs?
Yeah, dude, they got to win one. They got to, they're 3 games behind the Grizzlies, I think. Yeah.
I think it's like 3 or 3.5. Yeah.
And there's a rule that if they come within 2, they got to play a play game.
It's within 4.
Is it within 4? Oh, so they're in the play. See, come on.
I mean, they still have to beat the Grizzlies, though.
And they will.
Dude, Ja Morant, man, he is a stud.
Yeah, well, Zion sells more money than Ja Morant.
I mean, Zion probably outsells everyone in the league except LeBron.
No free radios. Yeah, NBA. Caps off to them. They're killing it. Not a big fan. But, well, didn't the Knicks get a new coach? Right?
Yeah, Tom Thibodeau. I personally don't think he's a good fit, really, for now.
Mm-hmm.
His claim to fame was he was a pretty good head coach in the early 2010s. He coached the Bulls when Derrick Rose tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
His last spot was with the Timberwolves, which is my team now. And they fired him because Jimmy Butler hated him so much. And Jimmy Butler, yeah. That dude, he's known for playing his guys way too many minutes. He's a real hard ass on him.
Would you say that ruined Derrick Rose's career?
I mean, the injury did. I don't.
You think it was a result by playing too much, or just a freak accident?
I think it was a result of playing too much and the style that he played.
Yeah.
Because the way he jumped, I guess the way he lands when he would go up for dunks and everything, he didn't land what I guess is technically the right way.
Right.
And eventually everybody knew it was going to happen, but because he played so much and he played so hard, it ended it a lot earlier than everybody expected.
Right. Listen, basketball and NHL are kind of the 2 sports right now where it's just
they're chugging it. They're chugging along.
And it's a beeline to the finish line. You just got to get out of the gate running.
Yes.
It's just so now this is my other thing. If MLB plays itself out completely and NFL ends up playing itself out completely, me personally, I'm not giving an asterisk next to the champion. So if the Dallas Cowboys win the NFL, well, it's full season, so yeah. But if the Boston Red Sox win the World Series this year, I don't think there should be an asterisk next to it. 60-game season, full playoffs. The NBA and NHL, however, a little bit different because they're adding.
I think it's harder.
Listen, I know for a fact NHL this year, I think this is the most games you ever have to win a Stanley Cup in the playoffs. It's 19. So
yeah,
it's just my take is this is just the typical year a team like the New York Rangers or a team like the Nets will win their championship. Finally, they'll finally get it, and everyone's gonna be it doesn't count. Come on. I know for Ron wins. Oh my God, that ring is gonna be photoshopped. So many memes of a half ring. Oh my God, it's just he would get ridiculed. It would never count. Ron.
And I think it's actually going to be more impressive to whoever wins. Yeah. Because of all the adversity they've had to go through.
It's quite literally sports is turning into survival of the fittest. Whose team can survive Corona long enough to make it that's what MLB is going to be like. If they can say F this and go play, you're going to be having 18-year-olds in the single A coming up to catch a game. And,
I actually saw David Sampson. He used to be the Marlins team president.
Mm.
He talked about COVID this year is kind of just going to be how the Yankees were last year with all the injuries that they had. You know, it's really just all right, whose team gets it the least.
Listen, honestly, I hope sports figures it out. All sports figure it out. I'm just a big advocate of like not hoping a Philly team doesn't win it.
Uh,
I'm not gonna get into it. The Sixers, they could lose 10 games in a row. I don't care. The Eagles, whatever.
so for everyone that doesn't know, we went to school in Pennsylvania, in eastern Pennsylvania, and pretty much everyone we know from there is all Philly fans.
Yeah, and Carson Wentz is overrated. Just saying.
Not a fan of the ginger, huh?
He lost his mojo ever since he had 6. That's a fact.
What
His
you
body
think?
started breaking down. The testosterone wasn't flowing as much. Man's a mediocre quarterback. Just saying.
Is Dak that much better than him?
Not that much, but he's a smidge. Even the
A
NFL
smidge?
ratings say so.
Yeah, it's what are their rankings? Like an 86 and an 87?
Something like that. I thought Dak was like an 89, to be truly honest. But
Okay. I mean, you could be right. I really don't know. If he is though, that's a real slap in the face to the other 89.
yeah, I think Saquon Barkley's like a 90.
Yeah, dude, Aaron Rodgers is an 89.
That's who's an 89. So, yeah, Dak Prescott's an 87. Yep. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is an 89. That is so absurd.
Yeah. Freaking
Tom Brady and Drew Brees are higher than him?
dude, Gronkowski's a 95. He hasn't played
Yeah.
or a year or whatever.
Yeah, he hasn't played in a year. His last year there, he didn't really play that well. He was hurt.
Yeah. Listen, it's just I love how players get mad at it too. I mean, I feel like I would too.
Oh, PU definitely would.
Oh, I'd cause a riot if I was like a rookie. Like I have no business being like an 80. Like they'll give me like a 64 rating if I was like a rookie NFL quarterback. Like what do they give? They gave Joe Burrow like a fairly decent high one.
I think he's like a 77.
For a rookie quarterback. That's fairly well.
Well, he was the number 1 overall pick. So like the way I've noticed it is they always do it based on where you were drafted.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I get it, but I don't think
because Jalen Reagor, the guy that the Eagles took, they had him a higher rating than like Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman, like all those guys. And realistically, I don't know if he really should be higher than them.
Well, who knows? TCU had a horrible quarterback. So
yeah, that's true. That is very true.
I think this is honestly going to go down as one of the biggest wide receiver, like the best wide receiver draft classes in quite some time.
It could. I mean, what was the last big one? Odell's class?
Possibly. Don't know. But this, you got CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, like Jalen, Pittman.
Yeah. And then you got Denzel Mims, my guy.
Your boy. You don't like him.
No. No, not really. Yeah.
NHL. We've been talking a little bit about them, how they're doing a good job. They dropped. It's not the NHL's fault. They got a new Seattle franchise. This team dropped the ball heavy. They could have made the most electric announcement video like ever. They could have had Davy Jones on his ship going, release the Kraken. And then like the Seattle sports hockey team comes out, the Kraken. My new favorite team, the Kraken.
Oh, it's mine too. Mine too, for sure.
I never had a favorite team in the NHL, and this gives me – I was this close to liking the Las Vegas Knights. But I was like, they're going to be pretty good. I don't want to do that. But now I'm hopping on the Kraken bandwagon because it's just an absolutely electric name.
Dude, their uniforms are sick too.
I don't really know how they managed to come to that conclusion. Like, I would love to sit in that boardroom and, like, hear the spitball names that came out. They came out with Kraken. But, hey, I'm all for it. The Seattle Kraken, they're going to have great advertisement. Like you said, the jerseys are sick. And by default, they're going to be like a contender with that draft that they do.
Well, they could be. I mean, the big thing that I've noticed for the NHL, I'm not really a big NHL fan, but
neither am I.
I've noticed that I've noticed that for NHL, like the expansion draft, the big thing is if you get lucky with a goalie.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Knights had.
And the Knights got all sorts of talent. And
yeah.
they made Stanley Cup their first ever year as a franchise. Like, come on. Good for them. I think that's all we got for today. This is our first episode. Great. I think it went well.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and do 1 to 2 episodes a week. Well, we're shooting for what, Fridays?
I think we're gonna record Fridays and post them Saturday.
Yeah,
I think.
perfect. As sports gets more along, we'll add in what we think what our bets would be. Give our takes.
Yes,
We're
sir.
probably going to be a little comical seeing what our records are and us going negative and losing money. But hey,
Yeah,
whatever.
during UFC, I had 2 bets and lost both of them. So
Yeah, and then we'll talk a little fantasy sports. When football comes along, because that's our big thing. Unfortunately, Tommy got kicked out of our league because he came in last place last year. And I won.
Yeah.
I won. I'm just saying I won.
yeah, I took third the year before. It was a rough time. But last year was a rough time.
Yeah. I'm excited to keep doing this. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, dude, we've been talking about doing it for what, like a month and a half?
Yeah, it's been a little while getting stuff
Yeah.
together. Kind of just not being lazy, kicking out of the Corona
Yeah, the funk.
quarantine funk, and we got the cobwebs off us, and we finally mustered the strength. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm definitely excited. I hope we can keep going and see how far we can go.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
We're just not a bunch of goobers talking about nonsense on Zoom right now by ourselves. But hey, thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week, another episode. Yeah. See you guys.
TP takes.
Yeah, baby.